King Earner coming to y'all live and direct. I gotta respond to the comments. It only be honorable that I do. The reason why I gotta respond to the comments is because I gotta really lay the law down to some people, man. It's rules and laws to honor. And there's no way in this world, you guys can really believe that I just picked up and choose to pick Alpo out of them all. That's like you saying that I have something against Sammy the Bull because he told on Gotti. No, it's not the right thing to do. Think about it. Every good people that had some honor to them, whether they were in a negative form or a positive form, they stuck together. These individuals are really, really, really taking lives and really able to go to jail and come right home. I mean, he done some time in jail, but what does that mean? It means nothing to them people, family who he killed and then turned around and was a true coward in real life. I know they got to be burning up. Think about how Rich Porter family feels. Think about how dudes in the streets of Harlem really feel about this dude, man. I mean, this guy really took a made man, a guy that had some honor to him, man, and, talked real greasy about him and then murdered him. You know what I mean? Like, that was jealousy. And then after the fact, you can kind of see the jealousy there because I know when I was in the streets and I was running around, and if I was that type of individual, there was no way in this world would I speak on something negative or killing my friend if I know I didn't really want to do it. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that I really didn't want to do it, I just wouldn't have done it. You dig what I'm saying? When you get individuals like Alpo who sit up there and say, oh man, that was the rules and that was, no, he wasn't the enemy, chump. The enemy was them dudes that was running around, chasing you around, shaking you down. Those was the enemies, and they ended up turning rats, the boy preaching them. Those was the enemies, the cold killers, the ones that took people in the basement and murdered them and all that, and then turned out to be rats. And then individuals that get on here and be like, oh man, you don't know them people, you don't know them. You don't know me, but you're here. The honor is that we're learning these things about the streets. I'm glad that it's coming out because we're able to tell the youngins that. When I was coming up, you never heard of that type of lifestyle where people just turned on. But guess what? You still did at that time. Had your Nicky Barnes. You had your Alpos, your Frank Lucases. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is too much really spoke about the guy Frank Matthews because the government is going to allow it to be all over the YouTube and the Instagram and all that. They're not going to have, quotes and sayings by, interviews by Frank Matthews because he kept it speeding up on him and he didn't look back. But you'll have these interviews on Alpo and these guys because they're there to pollute the community. You got to look at it in a mind state of back in slavery when you had that individual that was like, how can I say it? How can I say it? You had that individual who was in the field, right? And while he's in the field, he's noticing all the glitter and the gold that he see the women up there having and the other house niggas that's up there, they in the house. He's like, wow, I'll do anything to be there. So he begins to tell on everything that he knows is going on out there. He begins to tell on small things like people smuggling back, food or eating food while they're working. He's that type of individual. That's the same type of bloodline these individuals like Alpo and Sammy the Boy have. See, their goal when they first heard about the 5K1, their first thing was that, you know what? We're going to kill, we're going to murder and do as much as we want to do. And guess what? When they catch me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell. And that's what the streets have to understand of what's going on out here. What's going on out here? You have individuals that are plotting and planning to tell on y'all. They're not waiting and taking their time. They are sitting back years beforehand doing time. They find out about an individual that's running the streets, right? And they say, damn, I heard so-and-so got locked up, man. They got caught with 4 or 5 bricks, man. They had 3 or 4 homicides on his case, but he home. How he get home? What happened? What'd he do? A lot of people jumped on that. And once they found out what he done was just telling and giving up the individuals that he was serving, they turn into them type of individuals also. So it begins to be a plague, but it's a plague that grew overnight in the world. See, you have individuals not understanding that Pablo Escobar was a rat. See, I study these type of things because when I was in the streets, I was real good at observing and telling who was a rat. I could see it in their eyes mainly because a lot of them cut their eyes like this. because they're used to what? Looking to the sides and looking behind them because they're so sneaky, they don't know who may try to sneak them. So you have to understand that when they come into prison and the first thing they're doing is doing that, and they're not having no type of strength to them, that's the rat. That's the coward. The one who comes into jail and you ask him where he from and he clings to that right away. Oh, I'm from so-and-so. Oh, yeah, where my homies at? Nah, nigga, find out what's going on first here, man. Your homies could be rapists, man. And you want to just jump into anything. We don't have men living in our society today. We have more women taking the position of men in our society today only because the men have lost their heart. They don't have the strength no more. And I understand it, but why don't just get out of it? If you feel as though that you're not with whatever's going on and you're going to tell when you get arrested, why not just step away from the streets now? Because that's what's a part of it. You know, telling is a part of the streets now. It used to wasn't a part of that. So if you want to get into the streets, you want to sling a bundle, know that your right-hand man might tell on you. Know that your mother may tell on you. You know that a son may tell on their mother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, it's corrupt and it's disgusting. And brothers like Alpo, right? Man, I ain't going to say brothers. Scum like Alpo, he's the type of individual who politically, mentally understood that this was going to happen to him. And he already had it planned out because he's not a dumb individual. See, a lot of us that was in the streets at that time and came up as gangsters and with that rough attitude, we were smart individuals from the gate. That's how we was able to earn some bread on the streets. Y'all missing something. Listen to me. Let me get y'all understanding. Never think because a guy is on the street and he's an earner that he's a dummy. Because that's the worst thing you can ever feel like. Because I'm asking some of you corporate individuals, how many blocks can you run? Can you keep the muscle out there at least? Can you keep the pack straight? Can you keep the money coming in straight? You can. You know why? Because nobody fears you. No one cares to even respect you. They'll walk by you, and you're cool with that. And I respect it because guess what? You got a bank account and you got a family to go home to and you don't got to worry about going to jail. And that's where we fall on that because it's individuals. That's why I'm pulling y'all. I'm telling all the dudes in the streets, man, listen to me, man. Come over on this lane, man, with the positivity, man. I got a book coming out called Rules and Laws of Honor. Listen to me. Let me give y'all an explanation of something here. I'm about to take over the understanding of men. See, because men have one understanding. In a while, I'm going to give them an understanding of what a law wants us to have and a universe gives us right off of just natural living. You know what I'm saying? But we have to figure out how to make things rough on ourselves. You get a dude, man, that's, he running the package real good. He got a few bricks and he moving. You'll get a dude come up to him, man, and stop his flow. And guess what? His idea is to keep flipping and keep flipping that same brick. When the other dude mentality might have been only to flip the brick a couple times and to get right into the streets on a positive understanding by giving back to the community and building something bigger, an empire. That individual is a person that we should forgive because guess what? He thought enough to give back. When I know individuals, man, that'll see a woman take her child's first Nintendo. That's how it was when I was in the streets. I seen a lady take her child's first Nintendo, man. You know what I mean? And guess what I done? I got that Nintendo back to that youngin', man. Because at the end of the day, that child ain't have nothing to do in that house anyway but watch her smoke coke or listen to her go through it up there. So the game took him out of there, you know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that if we don't get on top of the real game, the streets, it's going to take a lot of our youth out of there. A lot of our children, a lot of the gangsters, man, our children is getting affected by that now. That's why a lot of the old gangsters stop being gangsters because their children what? Will one day become a gangster. You saw The Godfather, and all of y'all, if y'all don't understand what The Godfather is, it was really an explanation of what the mafia is. It was the mafia being introduced to the world in a bigger and broader way and give you to understand that it's one Don. You hear me? Yeah, you know who that one Don is and y'all missing it? It's the government. The government is a part of it. They're all the way in it. And now they swim in it because guess what? They're getting individuals and they're paying them. They're paying them every day. So on top of them getting their hustling money, guess what else they getting? They getting that pack. They getting that big pack from the government. A pack of money too. They ain't paying no taxes, some of them. Some of them is becoming tax exempt. Some of them has made a whole program around locking you up. But continuously you continue to sell the crack. Continuously you continue to sell the dust. Continuously you continue to sell the dope. And guess what? We all lose. But if you sat down and if you thought about it, young man, you would say, they just had legalized marijuana. But if you remember, before our time and the time before us and the time before that, cigarettes was illegal and liquor was illegal. The government isn't dumb. They get you guys to be the best promotion, where they got me at a time too, to be the best promotion. And what we do is we go out and sell it and make the drug popular. Boom, 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 boom. We winning. They snatch it back and say, you know what? You won't receive no taxes to that. And some people have received a lot of time for that. I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. That got me so upset. My blood is boiling. And I'm telling you that they winning. We got to win by pulling all our youngins back and teaching them something. And that something have to be to build up and build their business and their education and their minds in a positive way. And choose a law first. King Earner, live and direct.